Man, when I heard Jenna Ortega talk about Islam, I was genuinely blown away. But let me ask you something. Have you ever heard a Hollywood actor speak about faith and actually mean it? Have you ever seen someone from that chaotic world of fame talk about peace, not for clout, but from the heart? And what if that message, coming from someone you least expect, changes the way you see spirituality itself? Because that's exactly what happened here. I've had a lot of guests come on this podcast, people from every background, every walk of life. We've talked about religion, philosophy, mindset, discipline, you name it. But something about the way Jenna spoke, it hit different. It wasn't performative. It wasn't one of those, let's sound deep for social media moments. It was real. You could hear it in her voice, that calm confidence. Like she'd seen something beautiful and wanted to share it without forcing it on anyone. That's rare, man. Think about it, this young actress from Hollywood, surrounded by fame, chaos, and endless noise, yet she's talking about Islam in this peaceful, grounded tone, speaking on spirituality, purpose, modesty, gratitude, and discipline. That's powerful. What really stunned me was the way she described the peace she found studying it. It wasn't about fame or control. It was about connecting with something bigger than yourself. And that's something I've been fascinated with for years, people finding meaning in a world drowning in materialism. When she said Islam teaches that every act, even the smallest, can be an act of worship if done with the right intention, it just clicked. That's mindfulness at its core, man. You're not just existing, you're living with purpose. I remember sitting there thinking about how much of our modern world revolves around instant gratification, ego, and distraction. And here's this young woman talking about slowing down, reflecting, and being grateful. That's deep. I started thinking about fasting, prayer, and how much discipline it takes to commit to something like that, not because someone forces you, but because you choose it. There's something incredibly human about that kind of discipline. You fast, you're hungry, you feel weak, but through that weakness you find strength. It's like a reset button for your soul. And Jenna mentioned something that hit me hard. Islam isn't just about rituals, it's about transformation, becoming better every single day. That's exactly what we talk about here: self-improvement, mental toughness, balance, awareness. It's funny how people in the West often misunderstand Islam, but when you hear someone speak from the inside with sincerity, it changes everything. She talked about how the community aspect, the unity in Ramadan, the collective empathy, reminded her that humans are designed to support each other, not just compete endlessly. And man, that really made me think how we've become so individualistic. Everyone's chasing clout, trying to one-up each other. But here's this ancient system reminding us, be humble, care, share. That's beautiful. She said prayer grounds her, even in the chaos of filming schedules and Hollywood madness. And I get that. That daily structure, those quiet moments to reconnect with yourself and your creator. It's like therapy, but deeper. It's spiritual alignment. I respect that. I've met fighters, monks, athletes, philosophers, all talk about routine, discipline, focus. But Islam adds one thing to all that: intention. Everything has meaning. You're not just training your body, you're training your heart, your soul, your ego. And Jenna said something that really stayed with me. Islam taught her humility. That no matter how big you get, you're still just one soul among billions. Every soul matters to God. That's profound, man. We live in an age of ego where everyone's shouting, "Look at me." But humility, that's the real strength. To be great yet grounded. That's warrior energy. The way she spoke, it wasn't, "I found a religion." It was, "I found peace." And that kind of peace doesn't come from success. It comes from purpose. I started thinking about how many young people today are lost, scrolling endlessly, chasing validation, trying to fill a void that entertainment and money never will. And then here's Jenna Ortega, a Hollywood star, talking about prayer, gratitude, inner peace. That's a paradigm shift. It takes courage to say that publicly. You risk judgment, criticism, but truth resonates. You can't fake sincerity, man. People feel it. And that's what hit me hardest. It's not about converting anyone. It's about understanding that in a chaotic world, some people find beauty in submission. not submission in the weak sense, but surrendering your ego, aligning with something divine. That's literally what Islam means, submission to God. It's poetic. When she spoke about that surrender, that peace and letting go of control, it reminded me of what every great spiritual teacher says: detach from ego, live with intention, be grateful. But Islam makes that a lifestyle, a daily rhythm. I went home after that and started reading more, listening to people's experiences, how they fast, how they pray, how they find peace. And it amazed me how similar it is to what the top performers talk about: discipline, mindset, self-mastery, but anchored in faith. Imagine if more people lived like that, with self-control, empathy, gratitude. The world would look so different. Jenna also said Islam teaches respect for parents, neighbors, nature, even animals. And man, I thought that that's something our society desperately needs. We've lost respect. We've become desensitized, numb. But that message, it's timeless. And when someone from her generation says it, it opens doors for conversation, not division. That's why this moment mattered. It wasn't political. It wasn't performative. It was spiritual. And people need that. We're all craving meaning, purpose, connection. Islam wasn't just about religion that day. It was about rediscovering humanity. It made me reflect on my own life, on the times I was too focused on goals and missed the deeper stuff. See, conversations like that, when they're honest, they can change how people see the world. That's why I love doing this show. I want more of these moments where people open up about faith, philosophy, what keeps them grounded. Because at the end of the day, man, we're all looking for peace. We just take different roads to get there. But when you hear Jenna Ortega talk about Islam with that much love and serenity, you can't help but stop and think, maybe there's something there we should all learn from.